Okay, today we are going to continue our lesson on time, so let's read our problem for today. Caitlin's volleyball game started at 11:15 a.m. and lasted 3 hours and 45 minutes. At what time did Caitlin's volleyball game end? First, let's mark our start time. So our problem says that Caitlin's volleyball game started at 11:15. So I'm going to go to my timeline and find 11 and then 15 and mark this as my start. Now let's also remember that in time, we are in base 60. And when it comes to addition, we're in base 10. So addition is base 10, and here was supposed to be a 6. Time, we're in base 60. So in addition, when we had 10 units, we could trade it in for a long because they are equivalent. Well, in time, when we have 60 minutes, 60 minutes is equivalent to 1 hour. So now let's count forward. So we know that she started at 11:15. Well, I want to find a friendly number, and I know 30 is a friendly number. So I'm going to jump to 30. Now I'm going to go to my time tracker. And first I'm going to put where I started. We started at 11:15, so 11 hours and 15 minutes. I'm going to put start. Now that I made my jump, we are at 11:30. And the difference we jumped is 15 minutes. Now that I'm at a friendly number, I can jump a full hour. But a full hour is how many minutes? Well, a full hour, like we just said, we are in base 60. So 60 minutes is 1 hour. So I know I can go from 30 here to one more 30, and this will be an hour. So now I'm going to write 12:30. And I know that that is 60 minutes. But we passed a 12. So let's remember that every time we come to a 12, we switch between AM and PM. So before we were at AM, and now that we hit the 12, we're going to switch to PM and continue on. So our problem says that the volleyball game lasted 3 hours and 45 minutes. Well, we've gone 1 hour and 15 minutes. So let's go 1 more hour. And now we are at 1:30. And we went another 60 minutes. And I'm going to come back and put PM right here and AM, just so I know. And now I'm going to jump 1 more hour because I know the game lasted 3 hours. Now we are at 2:30. And that is another 60 minutes. Now we know, we know we've gone 3 hours and 15 minutes. But our problem says the game lasted 3 hours and 45 minutes. So let's write down here 45 minus 15 to figure out how many minutes we have left in the game. Well, we know 5 minus 5 is 0. And we know 4 minus 1 is 3. So we need a 30-minute jump. So 1 more 30-minute jumps gets us to 3 p.m. That is 30 minutes. So let's go back to our question and make sure we've answered our question. At what time did Caitlin's volleyball game end? Well, we finally ended at 3 p.m. So Caitlin's volleyball game ended at 3 p.m. Now, just to double check, we know 3 hours is equivalent to 1 hour is equivalent to 60 minutes. So 3 hours is 60 plus 60 plus 60. And then it was another 45 minutes. So the zeros plus 5 is 5. And I'm going to find a friendly number here. I'm going to go 6 plus 4. I know that is a 10. And then I know 10 plus 6 is 16. And then 16 plus 6 is 22. So I know that in 3 hours and 45 minutes, it is the same as 225 minutes. Now let's add up over here what we have. Here we still have the 360s. And then we have 30 minutes and 15. So zeros plus 5 is 5. Now here I'm going to do a double. 6 plus 6 is a double, so I know it is 12. 12 plus 6 I know is 18. 18 plus 1 is 19. And 19 plus 3 is 22. So I know that the amount of time that should have taken Caitlin's volleyball game is the same as the amount of minutes we figured out on our timeline. So we know our final answer is Caitlin's volleyball game ended at 3 p.m.